Hello, good evening and salam ma'al hijrah. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News at 10. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. In conjunction with Ma'al Hijrah celebration today, the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, has urged all leaders to prioritize the people and the Ummah and be honourable and trustworthy in discharging their duties. Expressing his disappointment at leaders who are disturbing the government and fighting for power, the ruler said leaders must not put their own selfish interest to detriment of the nation's harmony at a time when the people are facing difficulties brought by COVID-19. In a Facebook post, Sultan Ibrahim called upon all Muslim leaders, especially the Malay leaders in the country, to reflect upon the lessons that the power to rule is the will of the Creator. His Majesty urged all leaders to be honest and trustworthy in carrying out their duties by putting the rakyat first and Ummah unity instead of their selfish gain, which threaten the harmony of the society and country's political stability. The Sultan added that now is the time to jostle to help the nation, not the time to be jostling for power and influence. The Regent of Pahang Tengku Hassan Ibrahim Alam Shah Al Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al Mustafa Billah Shah today called on the people in the state to be helpful to each other and stay united during these challenging times. He said that as the country is facing the COVID-19 pandemic, it is not the right time to get into power struggle, quarrel or talk too much without taking any actions which were good and beneficial to the people.
Inilah masanya kita harus bersatu padu, tanpa mengira anutan agama, warna kulit, apatah lagi fahaman politik. Kita harus menang peperangan dengan musuh yang tidak kelihatan ini.
He said this in his speech at the state-level Ma'al Hijrah celebration held virtually today. In his speech that was broadcast live from Dewan Auditorium College University Yayasan Pahang, Tengku Hassan also called on all parties, including the state government, non-governmental organisations and the private sector, to always reach out to the people in need. Tengku Hassan also advised the people to always be concerned of their neighbours and lend a helping hand to those in need. At the ceremony, which was also attended by Pahang Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Wan Rosdi Wan Ismail, former Pahang Chief Qadi, the late Syed Abdul Rahman Syed Muhammad bin Yahya, was posthumously conferred the State Tokoh Ma'al Hijrah 1443 Hijrah 2021 Award. Tengku Hassanal handed over the award in the form of 10,000 ringgit, a trophy, plaque and a certificate of appreciation to his two sons, Syed Muhammad 71 and Syed Akil 59. Syed Akil, when met by reporters, regarded the awards as very meaningful to his family. Former civil servant Zakaria Ishaq, who is actively involved in many humanitarian activities with non-governmental organisations, received the Perkhidmatan Agama Award, while manager of a Quran disposal company, Zainal Idris, was the recipient of the Inovasi Kaki Tangan Award. The Inovasi Jabatan Award was received by the Kuantan District Public Works Department, and former Lipis District Islamic Affairs Assistant, the late Abdul Latif Yusof, was honoured with the Mubalik Saudara Baru Award. Each of them received 5,000 ringgit, plaque and a certificate. The government is looking into several procedures, including those related to visas, before allowing Malaysians to perform Umrah. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dato' Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, they are currently collecting as much information as possible regarding Umrah before any announcement can be made. He said the government may also take a closer look at how to combine tourist visa with Umrah visa.
Sebenarnya kami sedang mengutip sebanyak mungkin maklumat demi maklumat, dan sebenarnya isu ini kita perlu melihat keseluruhannya berkenaan dengan visa-visa yang disebut sebagai visa pelancongan yang kemudian baru boleh apply visa umrah ketika berada di sana. Jadi kemungkinan kita akan tengok lebih dekat lagi bagaimana jika sekiranya kita boleh sekalikan sebagai contoh visa pelancongan bersama dengan visa umrah agar perkara ini tidak timbul bila kita pergi sana kita tak dapat buat umrah.
Prior to this, Saudi Arabia had stipulated that those who wish to perform Umrah are required to apply for Umrah visa once they have arrived in the country. Saudi Arabia has reopened its doors to tourists from 49 countries, including Malaysia, since 1st August by simplifying procedures in obtaining an entry visa for a period of 1 year and allowing a stay of up to 90 days in the kingdom. Following the resumption of face-to-face school sessions beginning next month, Deputy Health Minister 1, Datuk Dr. Nur Azmi Ghazali, called on executive group and administration personnel whom have yet to receive vaccine jabs to walk in at any selected PPV centres and get their shots. He said this is to avoid any issues as well as to protect the students' health when the school sessions begin.
Bila anak-anak sekolah kita dah balik, jadi dia boleh menimbulkan risiko kepada anak-anak sekolah kita. Sebab tu orang yang anak-anak kita tidak divaksinkan. Kita hanya bagi vaksin 17 tahun ke atas. 18 tahun ke atas. 18 tahun ke atas. Jadi orang yang nak berjumpa dengan anak-anak kita semua mesti divaksinkan. Jadi saya ambil kesempatan ini untuk ucapkan tahniah kepada mereka yang datang untuk mengambil suntikan dan tidak terpengaruh dengan anti vaksin.
He said this during a visit at Dewan Ibn Khaldun PPV in SMK Abu Bakar Al-Bakir in Bagan Serai, Perak. 1,500 educators, administration personnel, support service staff including bus operators and canteen staff in Kerana district received their vaccine shots earlier today. Melaka will receive an additional 477,790 vaccine doses supplied this month. Melaka State Exco Datuk Rahmat Mariman said he was informed regarding the matter by COVID-19 Immunisation Task Force to accommodate the lack of vaccine supply in the state. Datuk Rahmat said the state may face lack of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine doses in the third week of August. Therefore, second dose recipients will be prioritised in receiving their shots while waiting for additional supply.
Kemungkinan kita perlu menukar tarikh temu janji untuk dos kedua Pfizer. Daripada 3 minggu kita akan bawa ke 4 minggu sehingga ke 6 minggu. Untuk bekalan yang lain tak ada masalah. Kekurangan lagian bekalan ini adalah kerana terdapatnya masalah bekalan vaksin Pfizer di seluruh dunia. Walau bagaimanapun, isu ini akan dapat diatasi pada minggu ke-4 Ogos dan seterusnya, di mana kita akan menerima lebih banyak bekalan vaksin Pfizer pada ketika itu.
He added shortages of Pfizer doses do not affect the ongoing vaccination program in Melaka because there are still enough Sinovac and AstraZeneca vaccine doses. More than 500 Kuala Perlis residents took advantage of a special COVID-19 vaccination program, which included walk-ins at Hotel Brasmana today. The program was held due to public concern over the slight increase in COVID-19 cases in Kuala Perlis. Perlis State Secretary Azman Muhammad Yusof said this special program provided an opportunity for individuals who had not yet received an appointment through the My Sejahtera application to get their COVID-19 vaccine injections.
Kaedah untuk memberikan vaksinasi ini agak berbeza sikit berbanding pada PPV ya. Kalau PPV itu mereka dah mendaftar dalam My Sejahtera, kemudian dapat dia punya waktu temu janji dan sebagainya lah, dan proses pendaftaran dan sebagainya. Tapi hari ini kalau kita lihat mereka datang saja, kemudian menunggu untuk ditujuan untuk disuntik, selepas disuntik baru proses pendaftaran itu berlaku.
He said this to reporters at Hotel Brasmana today. He said the 5-day special program which began today would benefit more than 2,000 Kuala Perlis residents. Coming up, foreign registered tanker detained for anchoring illegally off Johor. The flexibility given to fully vaccinated individuals can help revive various domestic economic activities that will see the opening of more economic and social sectors in stages soon. Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi reminded all consumers and traders to work together to ensure full compliance with the stipulated SOPs, especially in states under Phase 2 and Phase 3 of the National Recovery Plan (PPN), to keep everyone safe as well as ensure business sustainability. The permission given to fully vaccinated people to dine in provides relief to operators of eateries, restaurants and cafes. He added that KPD NHEP had previously emphasized that all retail and distribution industry players should be prepared for the opening of all business sectors in stages after employees were fully vaccinated. He said they made the necessary preparations to ensure that their operations complied with the SOPs. The ministry has also collaborated with the COVID-19 Immunisation Task Force in implementing the retail industry vaccination RIVAC program in the Klang Valley since 26 July. To date, a total of 29,105 industry workers have been vaccinated, and the program will be expanded to other states such as Pulau Pinang and Johor soon. For banks in ASEAN countries and India, COVID-19 outbreaks triggering strict containment steps will impede economic recovery and erode borrowers' debt repayment capacity, increasing their asset risks. However, banks' strong loss-absorbing buffers, policy support and the virus impact focused on a few segments will keep their credit strength intact. Moody's Investors Service in a new report said the resumption of global economic activity will boost trade growth in Vietnam, Malaysia and Singapore. This will help offset domestic economic disruptions from the pandemic. Banks in Thailand, the Philippines and Indonesia are particularly vulnerable as their economies struggle with elevated numbers of virus cases, spiking uncertainties regarding their economies reopening. For India, Moody's project the economy will return to growth in March in 2022, but the severe second coronavirus outbreak will delay improvements in asset quality. Continued policy support for borrowers from governments and central banks will prevent sharp increases in defaults on bank loans. And the financial impact of a prolonged pandemic is concentrated on a few economic segments, which will limit the deterioration in banks' overall asset quality. Various regulatory measures implemented in the past decade to strengthen banks' balance sheet have led banks to face the pandemic on a strong footing. Malaysia Productivity Corporation MPC and Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation MDECT are collaborating on a series of webinars starting 12 August that is expected to benefit about 10,000 businesses, especially in e-commerce and e-payment adaptation. The webinar is part of the Go e-commerce onboarding and Shop Malaysia online campaign, which kicked off on 1st July and will run till 31st December. MPC Director General Dato' Abdul Latif Abu Seman in a statement said the collaborative effort will help businesses in the onboarding on e-commerce platforms with the aim to optimize operations and improve customer experience. The mandate given under My Digital to accelerate e-commerce onboarding program for offline food and beverages businesses will inevitably boost productivity and economic competitiveness of the businesses. The collective efforts towards digitalization is showing results as Malaysia's position in the Digital Transformation in Companies indicator of the World Competitiveness Yearbook ranking has improved to 22nd in 2021 from 26 last year. MDEC's Chief Executive Officer Surina Shukri highlighted that MDEC holds steadfast to its resolve to equip and enable Malaysian businesses to navigate and thrive through these business unusual times. She added that they are aiming to further catalyze the growth of e-commerce in Malaysia and of equal importance, sustaining livelihoods and jobs in the process. A South Korea registered tanker has been detained for anchoring off Johor without a permit to do so. Johor Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA Director First Admiral Nurul Hizam Zakaria said the ship was spotted by a patrol unit 50 nautical mile east of Tanjung Siang at around 5:15 p.m. yesterday. Nurul Hizam said MMEA found that the ship had been anchoring in the area since last Friday while awaiting further instructions from its shipping company. In a released statement today, he said, however, the ship's master did not inform the authorities about their arrival and also failed to produce any permit needed to anchor in Malaysian waters. Nurul Hizam said the ship had 18 crewmen from South Korea, Indonesia and Myanmar, aged between 19 and 58, and they all possessed valid travel documents. The vessel was detained under Section 49B, Subsection 1, Subsection I of the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, which carries a fine of not more than 1,000 ringgit, a jail term of not more than 2 years, or both upon conviction. Nurul Hizam said the ship's master and chief engineer were brought to the Tanjung Sedili Marine Zone office for further investigations. He added that ship operators are advised to follow Malaysia's rules and regulations before anchoring or conducting any activities here to avoid legal action that could be taken against them. The Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry KPDNHEP has seized 17,000 kilograms of subsidized packet cooking oil before it could be smuggled out of Kelantan to a neighbouring country. Putrajaya KPDNHEP Deputy Director of Enforcement Operations Shamsul Nizam Khalil said 2 men were also arrested when enforcement officers seized the cooking oil during a raid on a store in Kampung Beluka, Pasir Mas, near Kota Baru at 12:30 p.m. yesterday. The operation was conducted based on intelligence and surveillance carried out by the Ministry's Intelligence Section in Putrajaya on a cooking oil wholesaler in Melaka. In a statement today, Shamsul Nizam said a total of 17,000 kilograms of packet cooking oil were found in the lorry and some have been transferred to the store during an inspection. The store was expected to be used as a storage and transition center before the cooking oil is smuggled to a neighboring country. 2 men, namely the lorry driver and his attendant, were also arrested to help in investigations of the case. A director of the engineering department of a local authority in Pulau Pinang and a male contractor were remanded for 5 days to assist in the investigation into abuse of power involving about 200,000 ringgit 2 years ago. The remand order from today until 14 August was issued by Senior Assistant Registrar Nur Fadrina Zulkhairi after allowing an application from the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC at the Georgetown Magistrates Court today. The 2 suspects, represented by lawyer Parmjit Singh, arrived at the Georgetown Court complex at about 10 a.m. dressed in MACC lockup attire and handcuffed. They were accompanied by several MACC officers. The 2 accused, aged 41 and 48, were arrested yesterday while appearing at the Pulau Pinang MACC headquarters. They were requested to offer statements to assist in the investigation into the alleged abuse of power by proposing to the Kedah Procurement Board to appoint the company owned by the director's father to carry out resurfacing and maintenance work on roads in a district in the state amounting to 200,000 ringgit. They are being investigated under Section 23 of the MACC Act 2009, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years imprisonment and a fine of 5 times the value of the bribe or 10,000 ringgit, or whichever is higher if convicted. With the conclusion of Tokyo Olympics 2020, the focus is now on the upcoming Tokyo Paralympic Games, slated to be held from 24th August until 5th September. 22 athletes, including 4 female athletes, will carry Malaysia's challenge in 9 different sports. Paralympic Council of Malaysia President Datuk Seri Megadi Syahriman Zaharuddin said the athletes will be accompanied by 16 coaches, including a chaperone, apart from 22 medical officers and secretariat team members. He said all parties involved in the necessary preparations ahead of the Paralympic Games are monitoring closely the contingent's compliance with COVID-19 control protocols. For the record, Malaysia has been taking part in the Paralympic Games since 1972 and has won 11 medals, including 3 gold, 2 silver and 6 bronze. At 10, in our top story, leaders urge to unite amid COVID battle. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Salam Ma'al Hijrah. I'm Syahida Arifin. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.